Hi guys, Darthy's here, back with another Star Wars The Black Series action figure review. Today taking a look at a pretty recent release. It is the Black Series Bastila Shan from Knights of the Old Republic. I've had a few figure reviews on the backlog to do. I've just been kind of lazy, if I'm being honest. But I've gotten some of the newer figures, so yeah, finally getting the reviews out. But yeah, Bastila. This is a character which of a fair amount of characters that were honestly released this year that I just did not think we'd ever get in the Black Series 6-inch line. But I'm very happy we did because she turned out really good. Bastila has not had very many action figures. I think she's only had the one, which is back in the 3 3/4 inch line. She had a 3 3/4 inch figure released in the 2010 run of Vintage Collection, so maybe 2011 when that she came out. I think I remember seeing that figure like once in the stores, or for some reason I didn't pick it up, and then I never saw it again. And then she got reissued in the 3 3/4 inch Black Series, and I never saw that release either. It's a figure I'd like to track down at some point, but it was never a huge priority for me because if I'm being honest, I really don't like the head sculpt and face paint on that old 3 3/4 inch figure. I think the head and the face actually look pretty terrible, I'm gonna be honest. The rest of the figure not too bad, but the head, that wasn't it. But I'm glad that Bastila gets a little better representation here with a new Black Series 6-inch figure. So taking a closer look, you'll notice that she doesn't maybe look 100% accurate to how she appears in the game. These Knights of the Old Republic figures we get in this wave, Bastila and Malik, both have kind of updated designs where they're still fairly true to their original designs, but have some updates here and there. The only thing I can assume as to why they did that is I assume these are designs that they were given for the Knights of the Old Republic remake that was supposed to be coming out. So maybe these are based off concept art for that game or actual models that were going to be used in that game. But I don't even know if that game is still in development. It's still up in the air. We've never seen any actual like images from that, so that's just what I have to assume. But it's still fairly true to how she looks. It still has all the design cues I'd expect Bastila to have, and I think it turned out pretty good. The head sculpt and face print especially, I think, looks really well done. Um, you know, Bastila's likeness is kind of up for interpretation a bit. She looks different depending on you're looking at artwork, if you're looking at the cover art for the game, or if you're basing it off of the in-game model. That's a very dated graphics at this point. But, you know, she's looked different multiple times depending on artists and models being used and whatnot. But I think this head sculpt and face print definitely captures the character quite well. The hair is sculpted nicely. She's got this kind of like triple ponytail thing going on. Yeah, I like how the hair whisks over and whatnot. The face print, I think, is very clean. Looks really good. And the face isn't too glossy. It's got a bit of gloss, but it's not like super bad like I've seen some Black Series figures, so that's good. The rest of the outfit looks pretty nice. Just kind of like this light armor, kind of Jedi attire. But it's got the same, you know, basic styling that the original costume had with this like mustard yellow and then like burgundy brown with a bit of a lighter brown. But the details on the outfit look pretty nice. Got some darker brown on this light, almost reddish brown going on here. And the sculpted detail of it is pretty good. The lower bits are of a softer plastic to get out of the way for articulation. Do have a painted silver belt buckle there on the belt, which is nice. Got these little like flaps of cloth, which I think are kind of cool. Kind of makes the outfit look a little more ornate, I guess, and the shoulder pads are of a softer material, so it allows for more articulation. The figure from the waist up is all new sculpting. The legs are actually taken from the Aayla Secura figure, which in turn were taken from the Aura Singh figure, I believe. So she does actually have double jointed knees, which is something we don't see too much of in the Black Series these days. But I think they work fine, you know, simple skin tight pants with the boots, you know, that's kind of what I expect. I think it works perfectly fine. And it's a pretty good looking figure and a pretty good representation of the character, in my opinion. In terms of articulation, pretty much all the modern Black Series articulation you expect. You have a joint in the base of the head as well as the base of the neck. So it looks down a lot, actually. I actually almost popped off the head there. So it looks down a lot. Looks up a fair amount, too. Pivot's pretty good. That rotation, I'd almost argue her neck might look a little too long, but it's not too bad. It hasn't bothered me anyways. Hinges in the shoulders, they move about 90 degrees out. There is also a butterfly joint in there, although you're not going to get a ton of movement because Black Series figures really just aren't designed to have really good butterflies, but you get okay forward and back there. It's not too bad. Single hinge at the elbow, moves past 90 rotation, which is good. Swivel at the wrist as well as up and down hinges, which is great for lightsaber poses. A torso joint at the waist that goes back a fair amount, doesn't go too far forward, only pivots just a little bit, and you do get full rotation. And then you get your hip joints, they can kick all the way forward. They go pretty much all the way out. The plastic bits don't hinder articulation at all. So we'll cut at the thigh. Double hinge at the knee means you can go all the way back, kick yourself in your own ass. Something that actually a lot of Black Series figures can't do these days. Sole cut at the boot with a hinge at the ankle that goes up quite a bit. Pivot goes down a decent amount, and ankle rocker for ankle pivot. So it's pretty good articulation. You can get a lot of great poses out of this figure, which is good because Jedi usually need to be pretty acrobatic looking and whatnot. So that's really good. In terms of accessories, just comes with the one accessory being her double-bladed lightsaber. It is a new sculpt, looks really nice. It's a nice silver paint and black in the middle. And she does have yellow blades, which I think might be the first time we're seeing this in the Black Series, which is nice. It definitely adds some uniqueness to the shelf, which is mostly greens and blues with a little bit of purple. Each of the blades can be removable, of course, so you just want her to have the one blade ignited or have them both unignited. You can do that. There is unfortunately no lightsaber hilt storage on the belt, but this being her only accessory, I was of course going to display her with the lightsaber, and I would assume most people would. Lightsaber rolls she really needs to come with. I can't really think of much else she could have came with. It would have been nice for interchangeable hands, for like even just an open hand for force poses. I feel like that really they should start introducing that as just standard stuff for force wielding characters. But this is pretty standard for Black Series, so I think it's pretty good. She holds it decently. With one hand, you can get two-handed poses just fine. I will say maybe it's a little loose in the one-handed pose, but it's not too bad. I'll get her holding it with two hands. So yeah, I think that looks pretty good. Obviously, you can do better poses than I'm doing right now. I'm just trying to keep this relatively short. But not much else to talk about, really. I'll just do some comparisons, I guess. Unfortunately, like I said, I don't have that old 3/4-inch figure. I do have some other Knights of the Old Republic figures, though. Here she is with the Gaming Greats Jedi Revan from a few years ago now at this point. And I think they look pretty good together. That's cool. And then here she is with another member of Revan's crew, Zalbar, who is absolutely humongous. I feel like he's kind of an underrated figure, honestly. Even though he reuses old Chewbacca body mold, I still think he's actually pretty solid. But yeah, you see he's much bigger than the rest of them there. But it's pretty cool. You can now, in the game, when you're obviously play as Revan, and then you get to have two companions with you. So now you can have your two companions. I am hoping they'll do more. HK-47 would be super cool. Cander's Ordo would be super cool too, although I don't know if we'll be ever getting him. But yeah, there's that. And then lastly, here she is with her wave mates, the Darth Malak figure, which I will be reviewing next. And you can see, I think she scales pretty good there. I do know she's a little shorter than 6 foot, I do believe. And Malak is a bigger than average figure. But I think they look pretty good together. So overall, I think this is a great release. If you are a fan of Knights of the Old Republic, I think this is a must get. I think this is a no-brainer. Definitely need to get this one. And even if you're not like a big Knights of the Old Republic fan, but you just like collecting different Jedi, it's definitely a unique Jedi to add to the collection. So yeah, highly recommend picking this one up if you can find it. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know what you think down in the comments below, and I'll see you all in the next one. May the Force be with you.